Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today's video might get a little bit spicy, so if you are someone with a bit more soft skin and sensitive disposition, I advise that it might be time for you to watch a kitten video or something else, because I might get somewhat agitated. Actually, I already did, and the entire reason why I'm making this video is because something today genuinely pissed me off, and that is actually a larger group of people than you would think, because I got half a dozen messages in my PMs and I got it in some of the comment sections. Basically people complaining to me about something that I personally don't find a problem with, and it kind of grew into this kind of like larger conversation where I just completely lost the track of the base point. Right, the base point is very simple. Cavalier level players could potentially be able to double dip on offers this weekend. That means that if you are Cavalier right now and you buy Cavalier level offers and they help you to get Thronebreaker title, you will have access to Thronebreaker offers as well, which is perfectly fine with me, which is the way the game has always worked for a really long amount of time. When you cross progression levels, you do get an upgraded offer, or in case of compensations, even you get a second set of compensation. I have never actually had the chance to do that myself, because I have always kind of like rushed to the highest progression title, but I have seen it happen to a lot of people. And the whole point of discussion and the whole kind of like reason for discussion was basically this Kebab Max post. So we have never commented on this because it's never been an intended reaction, and I cannot guarantee that it will always be this way. But if you change your progression levels, you should receive the next tier of offers. While I can't guarantee 100%, I'm very confident in it. Again, so if that effectively means what I described. Cavalier level players who became Thronebreaker over Cyber Weekend will have access to Cavalier offers and Thronebreaker offers. And I got a lot of Thronebreaker title holders messaging me and complaining that Cavalier players getting an unfair advantage. Cavalier players will be able to purchase more tier 5 CC fragments than they are. And first and foremost, I don't care, right? Those are people that are trying to catch up to any Thronebreaker. By definition, pretty much. If you are a Cavalier player, you are a progression tier below Thronebreaker, and the whole idea for you is to eventually become Thronebreaker. So therefore, by purest definition of the word, you're trying to catch up to the people in the game progression who are already Thronebreakers. So if some people can have a somewhat easier of a time doing so by spending insane amount of money on these offers, they always have had exactly the same option, right? If you have insanely much more funds available to you, you will always be able to catch up to people who do not. And here's the second thing that I just couldn't comprehend at all. How badly do you want to throw your money at Kabam that you are concerned that somebody else will have the privilege to spend the double amount of money that you will, right? Is really that's all what you're waiting for any offer or any good offer to give your money to Kabam? No, ultimately, fact of the matter is Cavalier offers will be worse. You still get the best deal out there, right? People who will have a chance to buy both they're not getting any better offer than you are. They're getting more, but worse. So if you take a look at value per dollar, you would have the access to the highest offer there. And I don't find a problem with it, personally. And lastly, actually it's not lastly, there are a couple more points right there. And the second bit is, would you personally like, and this is a question I'm trying to ask to people who complained or people who find this problematic, the fact that Cavalier players will be able to buy both sets of offers. So my question to that person would be, would you purchase both tiers yourself? Do you have £1,000 or $1,000 set aside for Cyber weekend sales or not? Because if you do not, this situation completely doesn't matter. If you're somebody who's willing to spend $100 or $200, the fact that somebody can spend $1,000 shouldn't matter to you, because you wouldn't be able to benefit from it either way. Let's say, purely theoretically, if Kabam came out and said that Thronebreaker players will have access to Thronebreaker and Cavalier level deals. Would you buy both sets? Like, I personally wouldn't. I simply cannot afford to spend £1,000. Therefore, I'm also not bothered if somebody does it, because I just don't have as much funds and money. So, out of everybody who's outraged by Cavalier players gaining an unfair advantage in ability to buy more TFFCC, my first question is, if you had that same ability to buy everything, would you? Could you? Could you really? And I bet that 90% of the people who complained wouldn't or couldn't. Because there aren't that many people who would randomly drop £1,000 on this game total. Let alone people who aren't Thronebreaker yet. Because let's face it, if somebody can throw £1,000 at this game, either they are relatively new to the game, or they're already Thronebreaker, because money obviously helps progress in this game, and if you have that kind of disposable money, you're likely up there already. Right, so that is kind of like the bigger point as well. Remember that anybody who can spend £1,000 likely pretty much does it frequently and buys every and all offers. Therefore, either they're relatively new to the game and would get the Thronebreaker title and every other offer coming afterwards anyways, or they're already Thronebreakers. So again, I personally find pretty much exactly zero problem with this. And as a last point, I want to remind everybody that there is always plenty of chance and opportunity to spend money in this game. And if there is one thing that you should really not be envious about, is the fact that somebody has an extra ability to buy worse offers than you do. Because, okay, somebody can spend £1,000 now, or even if you have £1,000 right now, wouldn't it still be better to spend that 500 for everything that they are selling today? And then you're going to have 500 for either Christmas sales or an upcoming great offer, because every resource eventually depreciates. And half a year from now, July 4th, $500 will get you significantly better stuff than they will today. Just like they do today than they did a year before. So I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But I personally definitely do not find any problem at all whatsoever with the fact that Cavalier players who are able to reach Thronebreaker this weekend could have access to both sets of offers. Again, maybe I'm missing something. If I am, I'm always willing to listen. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think. But if you're somebody who just likes to complain for the sake of complaining, please stop. Just like, please, really stop. It's like, first and foremost, you can disqualify yourself from the group that could be eligible to complain if you personally, I think, are not able or willing or wanting to buy both sets of offers. And then we can see what remains. And then I don't think there's going to be too many people who actually has that amount of money who would care, right? Anyways, I do not want to step on anybody's feelings, obviously not too much. And I do not want to upset anybody in particular. But at the same time, I do think that this community at large has too big of a tendency to complain about everything. About every smallest, tightest thing. About every time the game goes down, and every time we have connection issues, there's compensation talk. Every time Kabam releases a bad champion, everyone's at Kabam's throats. Every time Kabam releases good champion, everybody's at Kabam's throats, because then, oh, if I don't have this new champion, I'm at disadvantage. So, sometimes, just sometimes, and I know I can be at fault this myself, stop and think whether it's worth complaining about something. And it's kind of ironic because this video is complaining about people, but I did want to put it out there that I definitely do think that MCOC community at large, I believe, likes to complain too much. And sometimes maybe, just maybe, it's not quite worth it. like in this case, it's not quite worth complaining that a lower progression level player will have opportunity to spend more money this weekend than you possibly. Right, I think that's about it. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Oh, by the way, I got my Comrade Daddy t-shirt. We have a merch store now. We ship to UK, US, Asia, and India, and everywhere. So do check out the links. There are a ton of different styles. I will get some more stuff for myself because they are genuinely quite cool. At least I think so. And if you want any of the KT merch, then definitely check out the merch store. But other than that, see you guys. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the